everyone. Did you know you could go to jail for 10 years for drug possession? This is Christina Williams with Just Criminal Law.
And this is David Mann, legal storytelling specialist. Well, as always, I'm interested in the story here because I know that not everything is going to get you sent to jail for 20 years for drug possession, but I think there's probably some legal nuances here to talk about. So what is that?
I want to make it clear that depending on the circumstances that you find yourself in, the penalties that you're facing could be vastly different. For instance, if you are in a possession of a felony amount of marijuana, that means it's over 3 ounces, the maximum penalty is 5 years. But if you find yourself in a circumstance where law enforcement is accusing you of possessing a felony amount of marijuana with the intent to distribute it, that penalty is up to 10 years.
Wow. Okay. So having it versus having it and wanting to sell it or give it away are two different things in the eyes of the law, like massively different. How are they going to determine whether you have an intent to distribute it?
Well, sometimes they just simply look at the amount. Is it more than what a person would use for a personal amount? That means, you've got, say, 5 pounds of marijuana, and you have maybe some paraphernalia like baggies and scales in your possession as well. They're going to paint the picture that the reason that you have the scales and the baggies is so that you can break down the 5 pounds and sell it or distribute it, trade it in some way.
Okay. So it seems like they're sort of putting together the pieces that they see and then coming to a big conclusion. So you could have scales and baggies for lots of reasons, and maybe you have a lot of marijuana for some other reason, and they're deciding that you have it that way because you're going to distribute it. Is that right?
Right. And, there's a flip side to that theory that law enforcement has. If someone has, say, 5 pounds of marijuana, maybe they just are purchasing it from someone else and they want to make sure that they got the actual amount that they paid for. So it doesn't necessarily mean that they have any intention of distributing it to anyone else, but that theory is what the state may proceed with, and then you're facing those 10 years prison.
Wow. And this is something this is sort of why we're talking about this. It's a distinction a lot of people, I'm sure, would never have thought is there. And so all of a sudden, they thought they just had pot and a couple of things sitting around for their own use, and they're facing 20 years in prison. So that sounds like it needs a lawyer to help work that out, right?
Right. We can definitely straighten that out for them. And, we've done it countless times. We've helped clients get their more serious drug offense pled down to something that's more on point to, what happened or what they're guilty of, rather than the facing 10 years or being overcharged with something that they did not intend to do.
Well, we're going to put together some other videos that tells the story of how you've done that. In the meantime, if they want to get a hold of you for this, how do they do that now?
We'll include a link in the description where they can call, text, or chat with a member of my team anytime, day or night. Here at Just Criminal Law, we know you only get one shot at justice, so make yours count.